Hey everyone, welcome to 112 Shelf, where I review action figures, both old and new. My first video, which should be on my YouTube channel, is I reviewed the old 15-year-old Mesco comic book Hellboy. This time I wanted to do something a little fairly more recent, and this is the McFarlane Toys Spawn, a new, updated, articulated version that they made because he comes out as a downloadable character in the new Mortal Kombat game. But everyone's excited for this Spawn. I think Spawn is a character that everyone has been wanting for a long time, especially an updated look and an articulated one. All the McFarlane toys back in the day were not that articulated, even though they were awesome. This cross back here is from the 10th anniversary one. It does not come with the Spawn. I just think he looks really cool with it there, okay? This Spawn is really hard to get. It should be sold at Targets and Walmarts. I had pre-ordered mine from Big Bad Toy Store with the sword, and then I got an email that they were gonna send me the version with the mace, which is still cool, but I like a sword with my Spawn. And it just never shipped, and then someone on Reddit said they were on Amazon. I went over there super fast, and luckily I was able to get a Spawn with a sword. So let's take a look at Al Simmons and how this updated Spawn figure holds up. And first, let's look at his paint apps, okay? Now, let's start with his head, okay? He has that really cool, of course, that signature McFarlane design. You could see the grooves on the edge of his faces. It's not just a smooth material, something you should see, like the shiny smooth material you often see with Marvel Legends. Of course, the design is kind of engraved in there, right? It's not just a smooth thing, which I think is a really cool effect that they have. All of that detail, is consistent throughout his whole body. Even this is sculpted in there, which is really cool. I dig that a lot, okay? The paint apps are really great. I mean, sometimes it's hard to get, black and white together like that without something like bleeding through, as sometimes you see in other action figures, okay? His gauntlets, okay, on both sides. His gun pouches and anklets, which I doubt he calls them anklets, and cape are consistent color. I love this color of this dark red that they use, and this cape is just awesome too. Let me see if I can get him standing so you can see this cape. No, it's not cloth. No, it's not bendy. It doesn't have bendy wire in it, but it does the job, okay? So as you can see, it's kind of like layered, okay? And I think what they were doing at McFarlane is they wanted to make each one a layer so it could flow better. But I think they kind of scrapped that idea and they just said, well, we'll just make it one cape. But it still looks good. I love that black wash they give. It gives it that gritty look that, comes with Spawn. When you think of Spawn, you think of someone, gritty looking like that. Okay, so let's look at his articulation, and this is the most surprising part because McFarlane Toys isn't big on articulation. As I said earlier, the old Spawn toys didn't have a lot of articulation. I also had a lot of the sports, like basketball and NFL versions of the McFarlane made that had no articulation. So when I got this one, I was pretty amazed at how far they've come. Let's start with the arms, okay? It looks like, I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like he has a butterfly joint, but he kind of doesn't. I don't know why this part is here if it doesn't even look like it could move beyond what a normal figure without a butterfly joint can move, okay? But you can get his arms in a lot of poses. It doesn't hinder anything. I'm just wondering why. Maybe someone knows, they could tell me in the comments. But his arms move pretty well, okay, which I'm impressed with. Of course, he has double jointed elbows, which is also something I'm impressed with McFarlane. And he has a wrist swivel, okay? That's consistent on both arms, of course, like that. Of course, he has a different gauntlet over here, which kind of hinders this arm, or wrist, I should say, this hand, but it's not a big deal at all, okay? His head, moving over here. His head could move side to side, of course, okay? His head could look up this much, which this kind of looks like a cool photo right there, him looking at the 10th anniversary cross. His head could go down this much, okay? His legs, double jointed knees here, okay? With a pretty big kneecap, right? He has pretty long legs. This is in a 7 scale, unlike most action figures. No thigh swivel, no calf swivel, and he has a pretty good ankle pivot too. So that's the articulation. No ab crunch, but McFarlane makes up for that with like an upper ball chest joint and then a lower one, like right in the pelvic area. You could see it's one of those figures that, but even without the ab crunch, it still looks really well, okay? Now, let's look at Al Simmons, aka Spawn's accessories he comes with. Okay, like I said, there's 2 versions so far. Maybe there'll be more because I didn't even know they were going to come up with a mace version. You see how he has a hard time standing up? That's why one of the accessories comes. Okay, there you go. So, I got the sword version, and the sword is awesome, man. You guys could see he has this little symbol right there. Okay, the hilt of the sword looks great with the silver paint. And of course the pointy end right there at the end. It's so metal, man. That's so Spawn. And also the sword looks great. Consistent paint apps, looks rustic, looks great. And he holds it perfectly. Okay. Let me put it in his hands so you can see it in his hands. Now his hands are interesting. One hand is obviously the sword holding hand, right? And then the other hand, look at that. It's like a trigger finger, right? But he does not come with any guns, okay? But you could always give him any guns that you have laying around. I like to give him, put it there real quick. This is a gun that came with my Mesco Punisher. The finger's kind of tricky to get in there, and I got it. So then he could have a gun like that. Looks cool. But I don't really like my Spawn with guns. I like them with blunt objects and swords and maces and things like that. Looks more medieval to me. Like I said, he has trouble standing up, and that is why they also included this in the packaging. A figure stand. Okay, it says Mortal Kombat right there. Okay, to help him stand up. Okay, so this last part, I always like my toys around the same size. So let me move this. I'm going to show you how his height compares to other action figures. And I like to do them from different companies so you could get a comparison, because sometimes you like the look of a certain toy with a certain company and then another toy with another company. Okay, he's standing up. Okay, so let's see Spawn next to the new Dark Beast Marvel Legend. Like I said, he's a 7-inch scale, he's a 6, but you know, Dark Beast is almost the same size as him. Let's go with an updated Mesco 112, the Punisher, the one he just borrowed his gun. That's how they size up right there. Okay. Spawn is clearly taller than both. Let's get him next to a NECA figure, a comic book black and white NECA Donatello. Of course, the turtles are supposed to be short. And let's get him next to a Mayfix Spider-Man. Looks pretty cool right there. Okay. And I know Spider-Man's not standing up, but you can still see the size. And let's get him next to a Marvel Legend, the most popular toy series. And I think it shows the scale pretty well. Okay, with the Marvel Legend right there. That is the Falcon Captain America. Okay. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you got a lot of knowledge on this new McFarlane Spawn toy, and I would say definitely pick this one up if you have the chance. Do not pass it up, because it looks like these are going to be hard to come by. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll try to make more videos soon. Thank you.